Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let's discuss purpose of evaluation in this lecture 39. As earlier in lecture 38, I was talking about uh, the learning of uh, program in terms of beneficiaries and stakeholders. Let me share with you what are the purposes of evaluation. Determining the purpose of evaluation. Here are the program components, evaluation types, purpose of the evaluation. When the program component is said, three things fall under here: input, activities, and outputs. That is the formative evaluation and continuous ongoing. Here, input evaluation. In input evaluation, purpose of the evaluation is to assess the resources needed to implement the program activities or meet the program goals. Whereas process evaluation, in this process of evaluation, this is to assess the program activities, whether the program is being implemented according to the plan. And then is output evaluation. This is to assess the immediate results based on the activities carried out according to actions taken. When the type of evaluation is summative, then program components are the outcomes and impacts only. So towards the outcome evaluation, this is to assess the benefits of the activities, and impact evaluation is to assess the effect of program on beneficiaries. Creating evaluation questions. Program components are input evaluation, process evaluation, output evaluation, outcome evaluation, and impact evaluation. Purpose of input evaluation is to assess the resources needed to implement the program activities or meet the program goals. And such question examples for input evaluation are the resources adequate to implement the program? Are the program staff capable of implementing the program or addressing the needs of the beneficiaries? The purpose of process evaluation is to assess the program activities, whether the program is being implemented according to the plan. And research question in this regard is, are the program being implemented as planned? Furthermore, purpose of output evaluation is to assess immediate results based on the activities carried out, accounting for actions taken. To assess this for its evaluation, the research questions, for example, are used. How long did it take to provide support to each beneficiary? How many counseling sessions were offered? How many participants completed all these sessions? Purpose of outcome evaluation is to assess the benefits of the activities, and accordingly, examples, for example, research question used for this are: what have program participants benefited? What the immediate effect of the program on them? Further, purpose of impact evaluation is to assess effect of the program on beneficiaries, and exemplary research questions in this regard is: did the program impact participants' state specific behavior you are interested in assessing? Thus, all of the evaluators can benefit from this table while they are creating questions for evaluation, program evaluation. When the information is obtained from, to obtain information from those research questions, the data sources are determined as: input evaluation, are the sources adequate to implement the program? As earlier we have read these questions. The data sources for these questions are program documents, staff, and stakeholders. From staff stakeholders, we can ask the question, these questions to collect information. Our available documents can be analyzed. While talking about the process evaluation, the research question, are the program being implemented as planned, can be asked from program monitoring documents, staff, and stakeholders. Program monitoring documents can be analyzed to know about up to what extent program being implemented as planned. Moreover, staff of the program and stakeholders can be interviewed and questions. As far as output evaluation is concerned, all these three research questions for this purpose can be asked to the staff, and this can be searched from program monitoring documents. Accordingly, the questions for outcome evaluation can be asked to the staff of the program and the participants of the program. Moreover, program documents can be analyzed accordingly. In context with the impact evaluation, the research question can be posed to the participants of the program, because the data source towards this question is the program documents and the participants of the program. Now at this later stage, towards deciding on the data collection strategies, what strategies will be used to collect data. So for first three questions of the first part, data collection strategies will be document analysis, interviews, focus groups, and surveys. And for second phase or second type of data collection strategies will be the document analysis, interviews, focus group, and observations. For program monitoring documents, staff, and stakeholders, where the data sources are program monitoring documents and staff, the data collection strategies must be document analysis, interviews, focus groups, observations, and surveys. Accordingly, accordingly, for the data sources, participants, program documents, and staff, data collection strategies are document analysis, interviews, focus groups, and surveys. and where the participants and the program documents are the data sources. The data collection strategies will be surveys are the instruments to measure the variable of interest. So very beautifully and skillfully, systematically, one after the other stage has been designed to collect data and to know and to evaluate the program. This is the systematically according to the research process, and no doubt this is research process to evaluate a program as discussed here. Evaluating the total teaching learning situation. What makes higher education available? Classroom facilities, library facilities, staff student ratio, national student survey, assessment of the documents, contact hours and employability, dropout rate. तो ये सारे वो इंडिकेटर्स हैं जिनको एड्रेस किया जाए अप टू द मच एक्सटेंट तो हायर एजुकेशन वैल्यूएबल बन सकती है. You have a younger relative who is choosing a university course. They are choosing between universities. They already know the subject. What aspects of the institution and degree course would you tell them to investigate in order to make this decision, and why? So dear students, it's an assignment for you. You have to reply this question, keeping in mind all provided information here in terms of employability, contact hour, assessment methods, dropout rate, NSS results, staff student ratio, library facilities, classroom facilities, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. इन 8 इंडिकेटर्स की रोशनी में आपने उसे गाइड करना है, आपने इस सवाल का जवाब देना है. And you are required to answer this question on Google Class, as I will place this question in context to the video, lecture video 39. So keeping in mind this question, you have to reply there in the comment box. Not email me, not text me, not WhatsApp me. You have just to write in the comment box, or you may upload a one-page reply as an assignment. This will be graded, and 5 marks are for this reply. What is the evaluation? We know that evaluation is of 2 types. It is the formative and the summative. Formative जो है वो during the session होती है, summative जो है वो in the end होती है. So evaluation is the collection of analysis, interpretation, information about any aspect of program of education or training as part of a recognized process of judging its effectiveness, its efficiency, and any other outcome it may have. Therefore, formative assessment is used to help to improve in teaching in an ongoing process, whereas summative evaluation is used to make personal decisions, that is X a good teacher or Y. So the common questions towards evaluation are: why am I evaluating teaching practice? What methods can I use? What am I evaluating? What are the sources of information? What are the advantages and disadvantages of these methods? When do I want to do the evaluation? These are the common questions are considered while somebody is evaluating. Common evaluation methods prevailing at large are observation of teaching, in-class surveys, online evaluation forms, information questions, external examination to evaluate assessment, personal reflections, keeping in mind what are the advantages and disadvantages of each method. Who carries out evaluation? Student evaluation में informal, formal, in class, online, peer observation होती है, self evaluation, observation by mentor and external evaluation. तो peer evaluation में डिपार्टमेंट, स्कूल, ट्रस्ट और सेल्फ एवेल्युएशन में रिफ्लेक्टिव एक्सरसाइजेज होती हैं, ऑनगोइंग डेवलपमेंट एक्टिविटी होती है, और ऑब्जर्वेशन बाय मेंटोर में प्रोबेशन मेंटोर होता है, वो 3 साल के लिए, 1 साल के लिए ट्रेनी ऑफिसर काम करते हैं लोग, जब उनको फिर असेस किया जाता है कि अप टू सर्टेन एक्सटेंट दे हैव अचीव्ड, देन दे आर declared the experts themselves. External observation of teaching, external examiner evaluates assessment process. Why evaluate? There are two motives, internal drivers and external drivers. To reply the internal drivers, internal motivations होती हैं evaluation की, उसमें self improvement of teaching and students learning, wish to know what worked and what didn't, development of the teaching and action research, help on productivity and satisfaction. These are the internal drivers that motivate towards the evaluation, whereas external drivers are quality assurance, internal department quality, professional bodies होती हैं, promotion, reputation, student satisfaction, इसके लिए भी ये evaluation की जाती है. Now let me share with you what is the self-evaluation. Self-evaluation is a process which deals with the value of self-confidence. We should be aware of the fact that working alone has its own value and importance through it. It is often underrated. It is linked with the introspection, self-discovery, and self-realization. Learner evaluate himself in various forms, generalizing, taking tests, writing revisions of work, asking questions, and through discussions. When students evaluate themselves, they are assessing what they do not know, and what they would like to know. They begin to recognize their own strengths and weaknesses. They become more familiar with their own beliefs and possibly their misconceptions. After they self-evaluate, they will be able to set goals, and they feel they can attain with the new knowledge they have about themselves. So self-evaluation ultimately supports the students in much better way. Purpose of the self-evaluation is to encourage containing self-evaluation and reflection, and to promote an ongoing innovative approach to encourage individual professional growth in areas of interest to the employee, to improve morale and motivation by treating the employee as professional in charge of his or her own professional growth, to encourage collegiality and discussion about practices among peers in an organization, to support employees as they experiment with approaches that will move them to higher levels of performance. Tools of self-evaluation are staff annual professional review procedures. Observation can involve experts, can be informal or formal procedures. Feedback from such observations is very valuable but must be handled sensitively. Checklist is also a tool of self-evaluation. एडवांटेजेस क्या हैं कि फर्स्ट एसेंशियल स्टेप इन एनी evaluation process, it is an expected part of student professional performance and can provide information useful for planning and student improvement. It helps teacher also to write evaluating various aspects of the performance, indicating their strength and weaknesses. So it helps to get an opportunity for the teacher to get a better idea and to know about the responsibility for their own learning for the students and career advancement. At the same time, there are some disadvantages like teacher feedback, consciousness, format-based plan, lack of maturity, language, and self-evaluation only works if students have been trained to self-assess themselves. Otherwise, self-evaluation will not play any benefit to the students. This is the disadvantage because they are not well aware about the process of self-evaluation. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.